see? And I'd cut meat, and then I'd do something else, see? Then I'd go cut meat again. And I went up to, I thought, I was in the service. I said, geez, I always wanted a little fishing boat, I really like that. Get a little pull in the lobster traps or something, I'd come in, it'd be nice to put fjord or something. I like that, see? So I go up to Algonquin, Maine, so I got a job on a fishing boat. See, well, that lasted about 5 days. I don't know, they're always just pulling in nets and guts and blood and sting. There was no women waiting for me. There was no Old Spice, no beer, nothing. What happened? So I said, the hell with this. This is just basically why I don't need this. And so I thought, well, while I'm up here, I always wanted to be a lumberjack, So I said, well, I'll get a job. So I got a job at the lumber company. So I'd be a lumberjack. So I did that for about a month. But starting out as a young lad, you're a bottom bunk person. And that means you not only sleep in the bottom bunk with everybody else's things hanging in your face and everything else, but you do all bottom bunk stuff, the garbage, clean the latrines. I want to get on top of the trees, I want to make them fall. I want to do those wonderful things, swinging back and forth, stand on a board, so then, the hell with this. So, and then at night you fought. So I didn't mind the fighting bit, because that was okay. I was all right at that, but, but then there was other stuff. So I said, the hell with this. So I went back down to New Jersey and cut meat again, see? And pretty soon I just had enough of it, so I went up to Canada, and I lived with Charlie with the Algonquins for a year, and run trap line with Charlie for a year, And a wonderful guy. He was like 78, And we'd go walking in the woods in snowshoes, I'll be walking in snowshoes, But boy, you gotta know how to do it. I say, hey, Charlie, you tired, Sure, you're not tired, Charlie? He said, no, a little further. I said, oh, good, Charlie. Oh my God, he's not. And a wonderful guy. Like, he's a guy at 78, no concept of dying, none whatsoever, see? We walk along, and he used to make birch bark canoes, things sort of like that, And and the only measurements he used was those things on his body, I mean, just so many of these and so many of that. And he boiled cedar root called watap, and he would sew the canoes with cedar root and things, and a very minimal amount of pitch. I don't think I've ever tried to portage a birch bark canoe, because some of them weigh 9,365,000 pounds, about that much pitch. His were light, relatively light, and they all were just just straight like that, beautiful, And so we would go in, and he would show me a stand of birch, You say, now in about 30 years, I'll make a canoe out of this, I think he's 78, 108. Like, right, okay, no problem. And we go down there, and sit down, there's a calf and a cow and 2 bulls down here, blah, 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 and there they'd be, I mean, he knew he had all that. I started to try to figure it out, We go there by this, I'll never forget it, Here's this log and a rock and a thing coming out here, and he brushes the snow away, and I pet a bear. I mean, it's like he knew where everybody was, He knew where everything is. He's expert. He had to be. And then it dawned on me, no matter what you do, you've got to be expert, You've got to be expert at what you're doing. You're going to get wiped. You know what I mean? You've got to know what you're doing. You have to have a lot of information about what you're doing. It's very important. Okay, so also learn that if you're doing what you want to do full time, you're going to do good because you want to do it. Why break your back at cutting meat that I really didn't want to do anymore? Because at this time, that was happening. So the chain stores were in. People didn't care about cooking. So as a butcher at that time, you had to know about cooking. You had to tell them how to make a nice glaze for the ham. You had to tell them how to cook it, how to prepare it, how to put pocketed. How many people knew how to cook a beef heart with chestnut dressing and roast it? They didn't know about that stuff. So soak it in milk. So you had to know all that kind of stuff. Now, they didn't really care, just as long as it was packaged. So I didn't want to deal with that anymore, kind of thing. See? So I went to try and learn that. The other thing I learned was that we're just here for a visit, and we're supposed to enjoy it. Just think about that, we're just here for a visit, at least in this thing. Whatever happens after this, I don't care. I do care. I don't know what happens after this thing, see? Well, I know something's got to happen. I figure it that way, Something's got to happen, and when that happens, I'll deal with it, I mean, I'm dealing okay with this, and I'll deal with the next thing. Now, my wife, Paul, is a little bit reversed. She's worried about what happens after this death situation, and trying to deal with that now while she's alive. And I'm thinking, how the hell can you deal when you don't know what is going to, I just surprise, 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 It's okay, see? But she's getting a lot out of it and everything, speaking to little people and things, and watch it. Great gal, just a great gal, love. And so I learned that, Charlie, so then I came down and cut meat again, And because I said I couldn't spend my whole life up in the woods running away, but I didn't feel that was what it was about, And so, I even had an Indian name and everything, see? It was really Homigokan, it was called Beaverthorn, see? I mean, it was great. It was just like all these things I fantasized about when I was in school, sitting there trying to deal with school. I did them, every one of them, Not planning to do them, I just did them. Isn't that great? I mean, we can all do those things, you know? It's just, I don't know why I'm so damn lucky, you know? I just don't know, you know? I mean, I haven't been that good a guy, you know? I've been pretty rotten sometimes, you know? I don't know. Just worked that way, and I'm definitely appreciative that it has, you know? But anyhow, I think a lot of it has been, however, because I listened to Charlie, you know, and figured out this thing of being here for a visit, you know, and being an expert at what you're doing, you know. That just means having a lot of knowledge about what you're doing, you know. And if you like what you're doing, and if you believe in it and yourself, boy, nobody can stop you. There's nobody can stop you, you know. I mean, hell, see, I firmly believe, you know, that I can be or do anything, if I want to do it bad enough, you know. I think, I really mean it, you know. It seems to me, if we're not doing what we want to do, we just didn't want it bad enough, that's all, you know. I think that if you want something bad enough, you'll do it, you know, and you'll get around to doing it, but you got to want it bad enough. That's all there is to it, you know. I really think that. I think that's true. Sometimes you got to make some pretty tough decisions, you know, in your life. And actually, when you get right down to it, how many really tough decisions do you make? Maybe 2 or 3 in your whole life, probably. Really biggies, you know? Like getting married and divorce is the 2 biggies, first of all, right? You know? I sound sterile. I don't mean to make light of that at all. I don't mean that at all. They are big decisions, you know? They're big decisions. They really are. So anyhow, I come down from the woods, you know, back to cutting meat. And Johanna, my first wife, there's Slappo, my first wife and I, we decided to get married. You know, we used to, you know, we were raised together kind of in school and all that kind of business. You know, at that time, nobody went with anybody, you know. I mean, if you had a steady girl or a steady boyfriend, you're kind of dumb, you know, because everybody just goes with everybody. It's just great. Had a real nice relationship, everybody did, you know. So I said, well, when I came back, we started to go out. We went out for about a month. I said, I might as well get married, you know. I said, all right. So we got married, and all of a sudden, I have responsibility, you know. There's no more taking off, you know. We're just out. Oh, wow, what's happening here, see? You know? And it was okay, because it was good, you know, except the meat market was getting in the way. I was cutting meat because I had responsibility. Now, I was a little afraid to take chances now, because I was, you know, so the meat market was a very safe thing to be. We had a track home, you know. We had bowling on Friday nights, played poker, and you know. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Very boring life, actually. You know, it's very monotonous, and I really don't like that monotony in life. And so I'm trying to deal with it. So I went back to drinking. Basically, not the best way to do it. Public school forced me, the service didn't force me, but as a young person, you're trying to prove all those things that we think we have to prove, you know. We don't have to prove that we can cry and things as a male, you know. You do that alone, you know. But you have to prove in front of everybody that you're macho, that you can do all these other things. Drink, get drunk, sick, all those things. So you have to do that, you know. So you do that, you know. But I learned how to do that really good in the service. I really did that good, you know. And so then public school, I started to relearn this again. Public school kind of drove me back into drinking. So now the meat market was taking me. But I was always, ever since school, I get 3 A's in school, gym, shop, and art, see. The rest of the stuff, however, I did realize that, after years, I realized that during the time I was in school, like World War II was on, you know, and I was in a meat market, see. So I had all the ration stamps, I had all the coffee, I had all the meat, all the butter, nylons, the baby hats, whatever, see. So nobody could fail me. It would be foolish to fail me, you know, right? That's right, see. And I really didn't realize how big a hammer I had. If I would have, boy, I would have really, really milked it maybe. It would have got me off to a bad start in life, probably, see. But when I came back, and I'm getting my stories confusing, but that's right. But when anyway, just let me finish this one part, okay? I'll just anyhow, because it's important what happens, see. So we get married and we're doing this, and so I'm painting. I was always painting and drawing and sketching in a service, you know. I was always painting. We're painting pictures of people, the guys, their wives would have babies and send pictures, painting pictures of their babies, and I was making chip boxes and carvings, and we'd paint lewd, obscene things on torpedoes and bombs, and you know, these sayings and everything, Donald Ducks and something, all those things, and things like that. And then I was always dealing in art, in other words, that way, you know, expressing myself that way, vision. So, but I never thought I could be an artist, you know. That was always something else somebody else would be, you know. Like the artist wasn't something I could just be, because it had nothing to do with the work ethic, you know. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with being an artist was something different, see. And so finally, I went back, I was painting and cutting meat and drinking a lot because I was painting in the bars, you know. I paint pheasants flying over the John doors, you know, and behind the bar, big fish, or big bears scooping fish out, things which I knew about. I had a lot of information about bear, deer, fish. I fished every day of my life, see, you know, when I was a kid. Every day, eel fish, anything I do. So I was painting that information that I knew the best and drinking a great deal, you know. I figured this cannot continue, and I was going to buy the meat market. Now, this point, I just want to tell you this one thing. I was going to buy the meat market 2 days from the time I'm going to tell you about, okay? So it's really getting to me, you know, and I'm finding that, I'm saying, Jesus, you know, I'm going to go on to the great divide and not do what I want to do, because my biggest fright was that I would die saying, I wish I would have, you know. I don't want to, I want to go out saying, I wish I would have, you know. I want to go out saying, hey, you know, doing all right, you know, whatever, you know, that'd be okay. So, anyhow, there was one lady who I used to deal with. Her name was Mrs. Hosier, see? And Mrs. Hosier was really a fanatic, just a real bitch, you know, real pain, real... I feel sorry for her sometimes. You know, she was a psychological battle for me, you know? Like what I would do, you know, I would cut a roast, see? And I knew what she wanted. She wanted to eye it around, because there's no bone, no waste, no funny taste, just eat it, you can't beat it, just right eye it around. So I would cut that in the morning, I'd put it in the ice box, see? So ice at the refrigerator, you know, walk-in ice box. And then she would come in, usually around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, she would come in, see? And she used to call me, the other thing I like her, she used to call me Donald, you know? And the other Donald I know is Duck, see? She only had Donald, you know? So she called me Donald. And she always had important guests coming. I don't think she ever had important guests coming, but you kind of do that so you get a better piece of meat or something, I think, something like that, you know? She said, now, Donald, I have company coming, and I need a roast. I said, oh, all right. And I would take a couple out of the showcase, sure. She said, no, that's not what I like. Now, Donald, I said, oh, wait a minute. I guess, wait. Just a minute. I got one saved for Mrs. Albanese. Just a minute. So I go back and get the roast I cut in the morning for her. By this time, it's nice and red now and everything. I bring it back now. So she says, now that's what I really want. Now I said, look, don't tell Rosie. I'll cut her another one. Just, this is fine. See? And I said, why am I doing this? I'm not getting paid the money to be a psychiatrist. I don't understand it. I don't even know about it. See, why am I doing this thing? So this one Monday morning, and 2 days from this time, I'm telling you now, I was going to buy the other half of the meat market and be a meat cutter forever and ever and ever and ever. You know, all right? Mainly because of security, which was required of me in the family situation now, you know? So, Monday morning, and usually Sunday nights or Saturday, Sunday nights, you didn't work. So Sunday you went out and got bombos, you know? Monday you come in really white. And so it was soup day, you know? Everybody wanted soup greens and used to be soup greens. So she comes in, Monday morning, you know? And Miss Hosier, she says, Donald, she says, I would like some ground chuck. I said, okay. So I take a piece of chuck out of the case, which I take the chine out. She says, how much is that, Donald? I said, that's $79 a pound. That time it was $79 a pound, boneless chuck. And she says, well, you have 59 in a case. I said, well, with the bone in, it's 59. With a bone out, it's 79, see? She said, well, why is that? I was, well, it's because I got to buy the bone. You buy the bone. Everybody buys a little bone. We slice it up, fins, everybody gets a little piece of bone. You know, it's the way it goes. And I'm getting really, really irritated, see? And so she said, well, I don't understand it. I said, you know, see, because the cows, they come with bones in them, see? This time I'm really getting mad, see? So I have the knife in my hand, you know? I said, don't you understand that? And I'm really losing my cool. I walk out and I says, the cows has got bones. They're born with bones. If they didn't have bones, they'd all be laying out flat. Just flat, laying out there. You couldn't milk them, they couldn't screw, they couldn't repair, nothing but bones, you know? I said, I tell you what, here, you cut this son of a bitch. I quit. I put the apron over her head. I went over to Johnny Simon's diner, see? And so Stouty, the guy who owned the meat market, says, Mr. Reitzy, what's the matter? You crazy? I said, Stouty, you're crazy. I'm not crazy. We're just here for a visit. We're supposed to enjoy it. I'm not enjoying it. I quit. He said, you can't quit. I said, no, you're right. I can't quit, so I will finish the month. He said, you're going to buy the market. Oh, no. Not buying the market. You know? So what are you going to do? And now the diner, little town, everybody knows everything. See? And I said, I'm going to go to art school. Everybody said, hey, Michelangelo's going to art school. Yeah, I said, all right, now, do you people, I'm going to go to art school, and that's it. But I'll finish the month because I don't want, you don't ever want to leave a job, that way. I mean, guy didn't. So I go home. Now I have to tell my wife this. I say, well, the only way to do it is just straight on, just get right to it, So I said, boy, I had a really interesting day today. I'm going right at it, right? And she says, what happened? I said, well, I quit. She says, you what? I said, I quit. She says, what are we going to do? I said, we're going to go to school. She said, oh, jeez. I said, I got to go to school. She said, we didn't go to school. We just get married. Of course, when you get married, you used to have all these trappings, you know, all the furniture and all the bills. You get right trapped.